Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Trading Capital's daily live stream of the big level of resistance that I am watching here. So, with that being said, right now we are currently above that area. I am just going to mark this trend line. Roughly speaking, it is sitting at 471.12 on the charts. That's your resistance trend line that I am marking on the charts. I'm just going to put that in kind of a little dotted line there. And if we look at the intraday action on the S&P, we're also going to, let me just fix the screen here. We're also going to just mark pre-market high, which you can see here at 462, and pre-market low, which is this wick. So I think if we retest 472, it's a short. If we retest 469, it is a long trigger on the S&P 500. Right now you have the dollar down, yields down, so markets have every reason to sustain this rally. So we're just going to watch it closely to see how the dollar reacts moving forward and how the overall indices react. But big move up in the IWM. What I found was interesting, if we actually flip back to the daily chart or the intraday regular session, I found it interesting to see that Bitcoin is getting rejected here pretty ferociously. So I'm looking at to fade coin again. Bitcoin getting rejected off of that 44,000 area, the same trend line, and basically trying to close back inside that pivot. So if Bitcoin stays under 44,000, Coinbase is a fade. Coinbase is a fade. It is up 2.26%. It has pulled off from the highs here, but Coinbase is a fade, a definite little fade. So what I'm going to do on Coin, again, is just mark the pre-market highs and lows. So Coinbase pre-market high made it all the way up to this 167.30 area. Pre-market low is all the way, and you can see it's a big gap up on Coinbase. All right, I'll move that trend line. Yesterday, coin did trigger this little head and shoulders. It played out and actually overshot to the downside. So we're just going to watch it closely. But right now it is up 2.38%. Semis have got a big boost on the session. I am still holding a long on TUP, Tupperware Brands. It is up in the pre-market slightly. I think this one could eventually squeeze as well. But we're just going to monitor things here on the charts. And again, keep your eye on Bitcoin and that dollar. So just going to tighten the screen up here. And I'll correct the screen here. There we go. All right, so it's about 10 minutes till the open. I'm just going to go silent on the mic while I scan through some other setups here. Just bear with me. So right now the SPY is up 0.67%, Qs are up 0.97%, and the IWM is up 1.08%. So small caps certainly are the standout performers right now. Oil's negative on the session, down 0.96%. Natural gas is positive. We have natural gas inventories today around that 10:30 period. So watching that closely. I'm potentially looking to fade some oil stocks as well. You know, they are down a little bit, even in a strong tape. So you have XOM just holding slightly positive, actually. One thing I will caution people to do is chasing a gap up inside of a bearish, strong sell-off is typically not a good strategy. So I'm going to wait for any pullbacks to potentially go long. I won't chase this gap up, but we'll see if they do the infamous gap and crack. You know, that sell side pressure yesterday was pretty immense, so I'd be pretty surprised if we don't at least retest a little bit lower today at some point. And then that's going to give the bulls the opportunity to either defend this price action or not. But right now, things are pulling in from the highs right now. You can see the S&P is well off of its pre-market high. So again, what I'm looking for is a fade if we retest this double top pre-market high. And I'm looking for a long if we retest pre-market low. Again, this dotted little line here is that major daily resistance trend line that we absolutely need to hold above if you want to remain slightly more bullish in the near term. So again, the yields are all negative. Dollars positive. Bitcoin's trying to reattack that 44,000 level. I'm actually going to look to fade coin here. All right, I'm going to pick up some coin shorts here. I'm fading coin right here at that 166.65 area. Just a starter position. Day trade short coin. Starter position. Okay. 166.65. Short coin, 1/4 position. Okay, so that's one trade that we're already in now before the market is opening. 166.65. We now have about 3 minutes till the market open. I'm just redrawing in all my pre-market highs and sells, lows on all the mega caps so I can see what stocks are entering bullish zones, what stocks are entering bearish zones. Okay, so I think I'm ready to go here. You have Amazon weakening here in the pre-market pretty substantially. So right now the strongest mega cap is Tesla, up 1.9. Second is NVDA. The weakest mega cap right now is actually Meta, only up 0.83%. So strength in consumer discretionary XLY and obviously semis. Wow, big push up in coin there. Big push up in coin. Holy, what a rip on coin there. And Bitcoin hasn't even responded. I'm going to add to my coin position right there at that pre-market high. So I just got filled at 167.25. Second entry on coin. 167.25. Second entry on coin. My average is now sitting at 166.99. So we have a 2/4 position short on coin. Still seeing Bitcoin potentially running into some resistance here. But coin on that pop-up did make a new pre-market high. All right, we're going to be opening here in just a little over a minute. What I'm finding interesting is JP Morgan is barely bouncing here. JP Morgan is barely bouncing. Still holding short on coin. Markets are trying to push back up here. All right, guys, we're nicely in the money on coin. S&P's trying to push up those. Qs are pushing up. A lot of green on the screen. Mara's ripping. Coin's still holding that short. We are in the money. Let's look at these QQQs and the SPY. Let's actually look at SPY here today. So right now Qs are the IWM's the strongest index at the moment. Semis are retracing to the neckline right now. So SOXX is a potential short here. It's retesting pre-market high. All right, I'm going to short the SPY here, 471.80, 471.80 to starter position, 1/4 entry, 471.80 short. Still holding a coin short. I'm seeing Bitcoin weaken. Next entry on the SPY is really at that pre-market high, 472.62-ish. All right, Bitcoin's falling here, guys. It's back below the key support zone. You have strength in Tesla pushing up. Amazon's coming down, though. All right, take a look at Coinbase here. It is starting to come in nicely. Look at this move on coin, guys. Look at this move on coin, guys. All right, I'm covering my short there. I just covered at 164.73. 164.73. Just covered my short trade on coin. Beautiful, beautiful trade from that 169.99 area down to 164. That is the first win in the books this morning. Already over $1, $2.26. All right, if we retest pre-market high, we'll short that. Let's look at the SPY here because we are pulling in just a tad here, just a tad from the SPY. All right, SOXX. I'm going to pull a short on SOXX, the semiconductors, right here at 564.83. 564.83. I'm seeing it retrace to the neckline here. If I pull on the 10-minute chart, you can see we are retesting that neckline and getting slightly rejected at this point. Markets are still trying to push up. Meta strong, Tesla strong. That was just my cat making a ruckus. All right, Amazon's getting demolished here. So Amazon is falling pretty sharply. So look for some weakness to spill over into the Tesla chart. All right, so we're in the money slightly on our SPY position. Semis are still all right. I'm reshorting coin here, guys. 167.20 entry. 167.20 entry. 167. So we have now a higher average on coin than what we initially put. So I'm re-shorting coin 167.20. It's a starter position on coin again, 1/4 entry. All right, I'm adding to the position if we tap this 168 area. I repeat, if we tap 168, I will add to the position. Still have strength in the semis. All right, I just added to coin there at 168.08. 168.08. 168.08. It's a 2/4 position. All right, SPY's pushing back up. All right, the dollar's trying to firm up as well, so just be cautious about that. Next ad level on coin is basically above this 168.50 area. Just bear with me, I'm getting a phone call. Alright, just back in the swing of things here, guys. We're nicely in the money on all three positions, SPY, QQQ, and SOXX. I'm actually just holding the SOXX. I'm seeing Bitcoin break down, so I'm going to hold coin as well a little bit longer. We obviously took profits on coin initially, but there could be a chance that we fill this gap on coin. Don't be surprised. Just with Bitcoin's price action, you have every single fundamental catalyst today in favor of Bitcoin going higher, and it is getting rejected off that 44,000 level. So you have the dollar down, yields down, and Bitcoin's also down. So I still think we should see, and again, if the markets sell off with all these catalysts in place, positive tailwinds, that's a little bit of another character change that you have to be aware of. Right now, you still have the QQQ up 0.96%, the Russell up 1.2%. So things are strong, but Bitcoins are about to go negative on the session, and coin is up 3.39%. So certainly interesting price action in the crypto market here. Next big support on Bitcoin is going to be 43.2, and you can see we're actually falling there currently speaking. So coin should print some more profits for us. We're just going to wait patiently here, but we've already traded it once with a nice over 1.2% gain, and we're back in it a second time. Still holding my S&P 500 short, my SPY short. Still holding that. Still holding my semiconductor short. Again, Bitcoin is still breaking lower here. So let's take a peek at our position on coin. That one's still holding firm despite Bitcoin trending lower. So it's almost like a liquidity trap is occurring here. It's definitely something interesting that I'm paying attention to. Let's flip back to our SPY position. So I SPY with my little eye. Some downside. Come on. Give us a flush so that we can enter some longs as well. So if we get a flush, I will be looking to enter some longs. Right now, markets are firming up just a bit. Still holding a coin short, semiconductor short, and a SPY short. Alright, so SPY is just really hovering at our entry, holding above the EMA 113. We're above this key daily resistance trend line. If we look at the daily chart of the SPY, you can see we're currently above this area. Alright, so Bitcoin is continuing to see some weakness. You still have Coinbase up nicely. A little bit of a mini 1 minute head and shoulders potential on coin, and that could be triggering here to the downside very shortly. And you can see it almost takes you back to gap fill. So coin could actually go all the way down to gap fill again if need be, but it is seeing some buyers right now stepping up into that neckline and buying it right back up. So our average is now sitting at this 167.68. 167.68. I'm just going to remove this little white trend line. Alright, so now you have Bitcoin catching a little bit of a bid. I am seeing NVDA reversing. Apple, Microsoft, Google, Meta, they're all reversing, seeing some weakness. So it's now creeping into the S&P and the Qs. So the Russell's still the outperforming index. Qs are second. Right now, Amazon's about to test the negative side of the market. So Amazon is looking to break lower and go negative. It's about to lose pre-market lows. So Amazon is potentially a relative weakness short here. It's testing pre-market low. I'm actually going to potentially short Amazon here. 152.50. I'm going to wait for an entry. 152.55. I just got filled. 152.55 on the short side of Amazon. Starter position. Starter position on Amazon. It is the relative weakness name. 152.55. Markets are bouncing right now. You can see it bouncing. I'll add to Amazon at 153.10. We are getting a pretty big bounce. It's an S&P 500 bounce. Still holding an SOXX short, a coin short, and a SPY short. So SOXX, we're slightly in the money. Our S&P 500 short, we're in the money, and our coin short, we're in the money. Coin is right back down to that neckline, but it is holding right now. Got that big wick up. That's a 1 minute hanging man candle. That's typically bearish. Let's see if we get a break. So we already took profits once. We're in the money nicely on coin. Again, I'm seeing some weakness creeping into some of the mega caps. Right now you have all S&P 500 sectors green, including the Dow. All right, now you have Apple starting to weaken as well. Seeing Apple losing pre-market high. All right, guys, so coin is now breaking. So we've already banked profits on this trade, and it is looking like it wants to break this little neckline area. So watching it closely. And honestly, it does look like this market might gap and crack. It hasn't really held much of a rally, despite the dollar and yields being down. So I'm looking for this trying to get bought right back up. Let's take a look at BTC's chart. It is putting in some potential bearish consolidation on the 1 minute chart. Again, the dollar is still weak on the session, down 0.5%. Gold and silver have been ripping higher here. SPY is trying to break out of this range. Apple's still seeing some weakness. Again, Apple's coming in, guys. Apple's seeing some distribution here. Some clear weaknesses coming into Apple. That should be a sign of caution in this market. Alright guys, I'm looking at a Carvana short. This is super high risk. Super high risk. And I may add to my semiconductor position, but I'm looking at a Carvana short. Alright, I'm shorting Carvana here, 58.85, 58.85. Just got filled on a Carvana. It's a 1/4 position, 58.85. So we have a coin short, Carvana short, SPY short, and an SOXX short. So SPY, we're just really flat on the trade. Coin again is starting to come in nicely, triggering that same little neckline break potential. We'll see if we can get some follow through. Still holding a semiconductor short, which we're basically just flat on. So Bitcoin's now trying to move up again. You have the 30-year yield just flipped green on the session. Oil's still negative, but trying to move up off of the lows. Nat gas is up 1.8%. Apple's still selling. Tesla's still seeing some weakness. So watching for some continuation weakness in these indices. SPY's still holding this range. It's still above that 471.12 resistance. That's a big, big level. Below pre-market, you're kind of just in a range. This is not a opportunity to take long trades. Carvana were in the money, Coin were in the money, SOXX were in the money, and SPY were basically just slightly out of the money flat. But I am seeing the indices weaken here. I think we need to pay attention to Apple because Apple is potentially coming in pretty hot here. We lose this area here, that's not going to be a good sign. Apple tried holding above pre-market high here at 196.46, getting rejected. You do have Tesla coming in pretty sharply as well. Notice how it's making new lows right now. So definitely seeing a potential gap and crack occur in this market, guys. Watch out. And we got to keep a short leash on Carvana because that one's a high flyer. Still holding a SOXX short, SPY short, Coin short, and a Carvana short. So we've already taken profits on one trade today, looking for a little bit more downside. I want to see this downside come in because then we can actually look for some long triggers. If we get a flush, we can actually look for some long triggers. Come on, give us the flush. All right, I just added to my Amazon at 152.91. 152.91. That's a second entry on Amazon, 152.91. I added to my Amazon short. So 152.91. Still seeing it struggling at this EMA 113. So my average now on Amazon is sitting at 152.76. Apple's still bleeding, guys. Be careful with Apple. It's still technically bleeding. We are seeing the Qs starting to weaken now. Next ad level on Carvana is basically at 59.60. 59.60 I'll add to Carvana. But we are seeing some distribution in this market. The old gap and crack looks to potentially be coming into play. So we're actually in the money on all trades right now. Carvana in the money, Coin in the money, SOXX in the money, and SPY in the money, as well as Amazon now. So that was a nice little extra ad on Amazon. So really, really good price action so far. Let's see if we get some follow through though to the downside. And again, I'm just going to take this time to encourage people to check out my Trading Capital Discord. Whoops, that's not the right one. So I do run a swing trading and day trading service. Alright, SPY is falling here. Carvana, look at coin. Yes. This is beautiful. Looks like the gap and crack is happening here. Again, coin has triggered a head and shoulders on the intraday 1 minute here. So I'm watching that. You can even adjust the neckline here now, since that looks a little bit more vulnerable. Look at this, guys. Look at BTC. Let's go. Thank you very much. New lows on BTC. Let's see what the SPY is doing here. Come on, coin. Flush it. Look at Carvana fall now, too. Carvana could actually go all the way down and fill its gap. It's still up 5%. All right, BTC is falling pretty sharply here, guys. BTC is dumping here. Look at this. Look at this. Yes. We are banking, guys. We are banking on coin. Let's go. BTC is still falling. Now at 43.5. Looks like BTC wants to retest 43,000. Tesla's almost gone negative. Testing pre-market low. Come on. Give us the gap and crack. Give us the gap and crack. All right, Sammy, they're getting a big bounce. All right, crypto's looking weak. Bitcoin's flushing here, guys. Bitcoin's flushing here. Look at this. Look at this big rollover. This is on the back of yields. Yields are actually turning positive now. Yields are turning positive. All right, I'm still holding my coin. We're in the money huge here. Huge on coin. We're up over $2.71 a share. Now almost $3 a share. All right, I'm covering coin here, guys, at 164.90. I just covered coin at 164.90. Took profits on coin just because beautiful, beautiful trade there. That was the second short position of the day. I'm still holding my SPY, SOXX, but we took profits at 164.90. So we banked again another basically 1.6% on the trade. So 164.9. So wonderful, wonderful job there, guys. Wonderful, wonderful job. Still has some downside, believe it or not, on coin. Downside target takes you to 163.10, but that is okay. We took our profits. Still holding my SPY, Amazon, and my SOXX short, as well as Carvana. So CVNA. Imagine these markets go negative today. That would really suck the life out of this potential bullish move up. Carvana had a nice dump, but it is getting a big wick off of the lows there. You can see the downside target really should take you a little bit lower on Carvana to about the 57.17 area. Let's see if that aligns with a potential fib level. So that would be around the 618 fib. So it should get down there on Carvana. SPY is bouncing. Amazon's bouncing here. So big bounce coming into the market. Big bounce into the market. Amazon, pretty terrific bounce. I'm going to look to add to the Amazon position at 153.30. I'll do my third entry. 153.30. I'll do my third entry short on Amazon. If we get up there, let's pull that chart up for you. Bitcoin's negative on the session. So 154.30 is basically here. I'll mark it on the chart. All right, so SPY is now seeing another round of selling along with the Qs. Still in the money on Carvana by about 80 cents. Slightly out of the money on Amazon. Slightly in the money on our SPY. Flat on our SOXX. We've already taken profits on two coin shorts. 2 coin shorts for big profits. Take a look at Apple, guys. Apple's just telling us something here, guys. Apple's almost, believe it or not, gone negative. Look at that sell-off on Apple. We can actually buy this gap fill on Apple for a quick day trade. I do like this sell-off that's occurring on Apple. So keep Apple on watch for a potential day trade here. Amazon's pushing up. Bitcoin's still falling here, guys. New lows on Bitcoin. New session lows. Amazon's about 12 cents away from adding to the next level. Carvana is falling nicely here, guys. SPY is still under a lot of pressure. Take a look at Carvana. So we're still holding short CVNA. This is beautiful, beautiful to see. We are absolutely printing. Look at Bitcoin. It's now testing 43,400. Wow. So the market is fading. You have now even JP Morgan fading. All sectors are still green right now. All sectors are still green. Let's take a look at this Micron chart. Carvana is absolutely getting wrecked. I might fade Micron as well. All right, I'm going to fade Micron here. 84.13, 84.13 entry. It's a 1/4 entry. 1/4 entry short on Micron. We are short 84.13. Wow. Still holding our S&P 500 short. Still holding an Amazon short, an SOXX short, Carvana short. We're in the money. We've taken profits on our coin position twice now for a lovely gain. Huge gains already. Huge gains. Look at this SPY falling, guys. We're in the money on our SOXX. Carvana could go negative on the session. Wow. What crazy price action. Bitcoin's still selling off here under pressure. Wow, look at the Dixie, guys. Wow, nice breakout out of the bear 103. I just took profits on my S&P 500 short. 471.03, banked 77 cents per a share on the SPY. Still holding my Amazon short, which we're slightly out of the money on. Still holding my SOXX short, which we are slightly out of the money, or sorry, in the money on. Apple's about to go negative. Apple is about to go negative on the session. I repeat, that's telling us something. Wow. So STEMIs are still holding my Carvana short. That is printing for us nicely. Carvana's continuing to fall, breaking the EMA 113. Wow, look at this dump in the markets, guys. Look at this dump in the markets. This is epic. Epic, epic, epic. Let's take a look at our Micron trade. So we're in the money on Micron as well. Imagine Micron goes negative on this earnings and falls. Not my base case, but it certainly could happen. All right, semis are still continuing to show some signs of weakness. I am going to flip back to the QQQ chart because it is giving us some sentiment into the overall semi space. But imagine we gap and crack and go lower. Apple's coming down to gap fill. It's almost negative on the session. We could actually buy Apple for a little bit of a day trade. I'm looking at Apple for a day trade. And I'm also going to pick up some coin shares here. I'm going to go long coin here at 163.99. Long coin, 163.99 starter position. 163.99 long coin, guys. 163.99. We are long coin. Starter position, it's a 1/4 entry. I am seeing Bitcoin getting a nice bounce here. Equities are still weak. Look at the SPY sell, guys. Look at the S&P sell. Wow. What an epic trade. All right, I'm covering Carvana here at 57.20. 57.20. I just covered Carvana at 57.20. We just took profits on Carvana. That is yet again another winner. 57.20 I covered. That's a beautiful, beautiful trade from 58.85 down to 57.20. Massive wins today. This is epic, epic volatility. This is wonderful volatility in the market. Look at that. So we're 3 for 3 so far, and we still have positions on the table, but a nice 2.8% gain there. Guys, I'm also going to cover Amazon here just for a small gain because I think we could see a little bit of a market bounce. I'm just going to take some profits on Amazon here. So our average is at 157.76. You know what? I'm just going to put a break even. I'm going to put a break even stop loss, which may get tagged right now. Still holding it. There we go. We just got stopped out. Break even on Amazon. That's okay. So four trades, 3 winners, 1 draw. Let's continue to look at the SOXX. I am still seeing some weakness creeping into the semis. Still holding a coin long as well. So we're holding a coin long. And I'm looking at buying Apple here as well. I wish it filled its gap. It was so close to filling its gap, but it never did so. Microsoft losing pre-market low. Apple's below pre-market low. Technically a short setup on Apple. Come on, coin. Get back up to this EMA 113. Come on. So we're long coin. We're still holding a short on the semis. Covered our Carvana. In the money nicely on our semi position. Bitcoin's trying to make a little bit of a move higher here. So we are long coin at this 163.99 area. It is moving up for us nicely. So get ready to take some profits. All right, I just exited my coin there. 164.89. Boom. Look at that. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I'm looking to potentially re-short some stocks here. So S&P's market's getting a nice big bounce here. I'm going to keep looking at coin to trade because right now it's getting a bounce, but it is still weak. All right, I'm picking up some coin shorts here. 165 short. 165 short again on coin. 165 short on coin. It's a 1/4 entry yet again. So now we're back to the short side on coin. Where I will add to coin is basically into this 166 pivot zone. Okay, so that's where I'll add to coin if we push up to this 165.90-ish, 166 pivot zone. That's where I will add. But we're short again on coin. After shorting it twice, then we flip long. So we have 3 winners on coin, a neutral draw on Amazon. We won on Carvana, so that was our 4th win. And look at that bounce. So nice cover down there. We also had a SPY short where we took profits on tremendously. So good job. And I'm still holding an SOXX short position, guys. An SOXX position, which we are in the money right now. So let's just So the markets are getting a nice big bounce here. Coin is bouncing. So get ready to add to the coin position. Apple's still weak on the session, almost to the negative side. Bitcoin's still negative on the session. Guys, get ready to add to coin. Get ready to add to coin. It's approaching that 90 area. All right, I just got filled 165.98. 165.98. 165.98. So it brings the average now up to 165.54. Next entry on coin is basically going to be into this trend line of resistance. So call it 167-ish. Coin's moving up here. Pretty big bounce on coin. Still holding an SOXX short position. And a short on coin. It's a 2/4 entry. I am potentially looking at Snapchat as a fade as well. So I'm looking at fading Snapchat here because Meta is seeing some weakness. All right, I'm going to short Snapchat. 1691 fill. 1691 fill on Snapchat. It's a 1/4% entry as well. So short Snap 1691. Okay. And then basically I'll add if we push all the way up to this 16, this high pivot zone up there. Let's see what the S&P is doing. A big bounce coming in the market. Coin is coming up to next entry, guys. Coin is coming up into next entry. Amazon starting to rip. So it was a good neutral loss on Amazon. I was recognizing it was putting in some higher lows, unlike the market, putting in some lower highs. So big bounce in. We're back above this key resistance. This is a short zone for the S&P again. I'm just going to wait because I am holding a semiconductor short, a coin short, and a Snapchat short. And still holding that Micron short, which is actually in the money nicely for us. All right, so big rejection on the SPY there. You also had rejection on coin, but it is still holding firm. Coin never hit 167 yet. It's very close to doing so. That's where I will add to the position. All right, let's flip back to the SPY here. I'm seeing JP Morgan. So JP Morgan up all of its bounce and actually looking to go negative. So JP Morgan is a leading financial stock. So you have to pay close attention to it, because when JP Morgan isn't participating in bounces and it continues to see some sell side pressure, that's a concern. It's telling us, JP Morgan is one of the largest financial institutions in the world, and it generally knows a lot of information that the market doesn't know. So I watch it pretty much every day on what's any insights into whether or not this market is going to gap and crack. But weakness in JP Morgan is never healthy. We are seeing Bitcoin move up, so Coinbase short may start to see some strength to the upside because Bitcoin is trying to move up. Keep your eye on TUP as well. TUP, Tupperware Brands long. I'm still holding a long on TUP. Still holding a long trade on TUP. This one is seeing some heavy volume coming into play. So coin is still up 2.9%. We're in Bitcoin's negative. Yet again, another divergence. AMD's showing some strength. The firm is up nicely. Some of these shitco stocks are getting a big bounce today yet again. So Apple's under pre-market low. It's in bearish environment. NVDA is, I believe NVIDIA is also under pre-market low. Let me just double check this. So Apple's still getting rejected. Now Amazon's seeing some sellers. Coin is still trying to push up. Big bounce coming in the SPY. You have the Dixie. Why is the market bouncing here? No real technical support, but you have a dollar falling. So that's exactly why the market's bouncing. Apple's still under pre-market low, so that's technically in a short zone on Apple, which means SPY is also in a short zone and the Qs are also in a short zone. All right, I just added to, nope, sorry, I did not. It did not hit 167. It came 2 pennies away on Coinbase, but I will add to my coin short at 167.
Welcome to VoiceOver. VoiceOver.
So big bounce occurring in the market. Still holding on to my semiconductor short, still holding on to my coin short, my TUP long. Just looking to see if there's any other opportunities here. Got wicked out on a Microsoft short, but held onto an IWM and Google. Okay, that's fairly good. Yeah, Microsoft's actually testing pre-market lows, so it dipped actually under pre-market low. So Microsoft, I still think, is a technical short. Google's actually looking way stronger than Microsoft. So, and the IWM, yeah, putting in lower highs. So the IWM is still putting in lower highs, just like the market. So high, lower high, lower high, low, lower low. So technically that is a downtrend right now. I'm actually looking at shorting the IWM as well. So yields have turned positive. I'm going to pick up some IWM shorts here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a put play. High risk lotto put play. I am going to do, I'm just scrolling through the options here. All right, I'm going to do a 198 put on the IWM, a 198 0 DTE put on the IWM. Just entered right there, 198 put on the IWM. Let's see if we can get some follow through. So yields have flipped green. The 2-year, 10-year, 20-year, 30-year, after being red, they have all flipped green on the session. I just got filled on Coinbase at 167.08. 167.08. I just got filled on Coinbase again. 167.08. So that brings up the average to 166.36. Bitcoin just flipped back to the green side. All right, coin is tapping pre-market high. So coin is actually trying to break out here on coin. Found out about trading these paper money and following on there, working great. Been following since open and have took profits with your paper profits, huh? Hey, profits are profits. You're learning, right? I've been following for about a month and you're always hitting. Thanks, Liquid Fire. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the support. I try to do my best here, man. I try to do my best here. That's all you can do. Not every day is going to be perfect. All right, I just added to my SOXX short here at 566.36. SOXX, I added to the position. That's the second entry on SOXX, 566.36. So the average is now 566.69. Let's see what the SPY is doing. SPY is making a new high of day push. All right, coin, I'm about to add again to coin. If coin pushes up to 167, actually even here's a really good entry. I'm going to add to my coin short 167.60. 167.60. I did just add to my coin short 167.60. So now my average is sitting at 166.77. Pre-market high is being tapped on coin. Pre-market high is being tapped on coin. Nice wick down on coin there. Still holding a snap short, TUP long, coin short, SOXX short. So we've already closed quite a few winners here in the session, and it's only 10:30. Apple's back above pre-market low. Markets are actually acting resilient here, remaining strong on Apple. Too bad Apple never hit my downside target. We almost had a long entry trigger. Let's flip back to the SPY here. It is putting in a higher high here, the SPY, but that's a nice big rally. Still below pre-market high. We'll see if we can get above there. Again, yields have flipped back to the green side, but the dollar is still down quite substantially. Now you have the Russell 2000 weakening. So relative strength in the SPY made a higher high. The Qs did not make a higher high. So higher high on the SPY, QQQ relative weakness because it did not make a higher high. And then you also look at the IWM as a relative weakness. So if you're shorting, the IWM and the Qs are your best bet. And if you're going long, the SPY is holding some relative strength gains. So notice those higher highs on the SPY, but lower highs on the other indices. So since tech is the strongest and the heaviest weighted indice, you want to give the QQQ kind of the benefit of the doubt. Even though there's more companies in the S&P 500, the Qs have a higher weighting in the market. And right now the IWM is getting a pretty hard sell-off here. So we took those 198.0 DTE puts. Okay, so we're going to hold on to those. Still holding a coin short and a semiconductor short. So if we look at our coin short, it is a full position now on coin. It is a full position on coin. So we're slightly out of the money on coin with our average sitting here at 167. We've already traded this 3 times and won 3 times. 2 shorts on coin, 1 long. So we took this initial short on coin, then we took the secondary short on coin, then we went long at the bottom here, and now we're short again on coin. Let's take a look at our semiconductor play. So SOXX is starting to potentially weaken as well. I'm seeing Apple losing pre-market low. So again, Apple's telling us that it may be wanting to go negative. Lower high bounce. You know, you pretty much, actually you did fill that gap fill on Apple. Very interesting. Guess Apple did fill it, but pre-market low is being tested again. If Apple can't get above this area, it's likely going to go negative and drag the whole market down. But a big topple over there on the S&P, IWM, we'll watch that indice. Still holding a snap short and a coin short. Take a look at what coin is doing now, guys. Coin is dumping pretty hard here. Coin is dumping pretty hard here. So we're basically flat on the trade again. Bitcoin is potentially seeing some more sell-side resistance. JP Morgan is weakening down. Big reversal in the semiconductors. You have NVDA weakening as well. Apple still under pre-market low. So take a look at the Russell 2000. It is falling pretty sharply here. Still holding a Micron short, a Snap short, a coin short, and a Russell put. All right, Amazon's starting to weaken. Microsoft's coming in hard now. So is Apple. Meta's also coming in hard. So wow, look at the market falling here. The Qs put in that lower high, and look at them falling. Now we could be creating a little inverted head and shoulders here. So we would need to watch for this type of pattern to play out. You have your left shoulder here, you have your head, and you could be forming a right shoulder. So we got to watch out for that because that could be a bullish setup. That could be a bullish setup on the Qs. Your neckline looks to be here. So we may actually do another final retest of this zone. I'm just going to erase some of these day trading lines from yesterday. You know, and if we fall, if we don't hold this gap up, we're going to revert back to this downsloping trendline channel. So I'm going to keep that channel on watch. But it could be a potential beautiful inverted head and shoulders pattern here that we need to pay attention to. I'm actually going to cover my SOXX for a nice little gain just in here. I'm seeing Bitcoin flying up here. So I'm going to exit coin here for a small loss. 167.13. I just exited my coin there, 167.13 for basically our average was sitting here at 166.07. I exited at 167.13 for a small loss on coin. That's okay though. That was a tiny loss. Still holding my Russell put, but I did close my semiconductor short as well. So I closed at 564.15 on the semiconductor chart. 564.15. We close that position, that quick little short. Okay, so that was a nice little profit. I'm still holding my Russell 2000 short. Let's keep an eye on the S&P here. It'll be interesting. I mean, what's interesting is the S&P cannot have an inverted head and shoulders because you have a higher right shoulder here, but the IWM and the Qs, they can potentially both have that pattern. It almost makes you want to just close this put as well, but we'll see. Apple's still under pre-market low. Tesla's testing pre-market low. Dollar's retesting support here. Oof, too bad I covered that coin short for a loss because, wow, what a bad move that was. I saw Bitcoin actually trying to break out, but coin's actually coming in. Lower highs on coins, so it's still technically a short setup. Tried breaking out of this downsloping trend line. If you find rejection here, it's potentially another short on coin. Still holding my Russell 2000 put and my Snapchat and Micron short. Big downside coming into Coinbase here. Let's see what happens here with the market. Apple's still under pre-market low. Google, NVDA. I might take some NVIDIA puts as well. NVDA. I'm seeing semi starting to weaken here. All right, I'm going to take a high risk put play on NVIDIA. I'm going to take... this is a crazy little inflection point here. All right, I'm going to take a 484 0 DTE put on NVIDIA. 484 0 DTE put on NVIDIA. 484 0 DTE put on NVIDIA. So we needed to get to 484. Remove these trend lines from yesterday. That was our day trading lines. So 484 put on NVIDIA. Still holding my Russell 2000 put. And it's a 0 DTE play on NVIDIA. Again, it's risky because we do have this potential inverse head and shoulders as well. JP Morgan is still weakening here. So again, I'm still looking at JP Morgan. One of the reasons I keep wanting to short is because this leading financial stock is kind of indicating to me that this market is a little bit weak. All right, I'm going to look at shorting coin again. 166.77. I'm short coin again. 166.77. I am seeing Bitcoin reversing here. 166.77. Basically the same entry as last time. 1/4 position though. Let's erase these previous trend lines. So 167.77. But Bitcoin is back to the positive side. All right, guys, markets are getting a nice big bounce here. Markets are getting a pretty big bounce. keep your eye on Tupperware Brands, TUP. It is seeing some heavier volume trying to push up here. All right, I'm going to add to my coin short at I just added 167.60. 167.60 on that spike up. 167.60 I just added to coin. So the average now is sitting at 167.24. That's a 2-force position. Coin is actually trying to break out here. Double top is next entry. So double top will be next entry. Still holding that IWM put, still holding a 1980 DTE put on Russell, still holding a 4840 DT put on NVDA. Look at Apple. I'm just taking a peek here. Actually, Apple's triggered a head and shoulders here on the hourly. Apple has triggered a head and shoulders on the hourly chart. Just be mindful of that. Largest company in the world, triggering a bearish pattern. Neckline is broke. Now, often you could get a retrace all the way back up to the neckline. But Apple's looking weak right now. Downside should take us to 190. Not today, but the downside pattern on Apple has been triggered. The big question is, do we get a retrace? Still holding my coin short now, basically a down 20 cents. We've covered already 3 coin trade winners, 2 shorts, 1 long on coin. We've covered an Amazon for neutral. We covered a SPY, a beautiful SPY short. We covered a SOXX short. So we have already 5 winning trades, 5 of 6, and 1 neutral. And we're in the money on coin. We're slightly out of the money on Snap. And we have a put on NVIDIA and a 0DT put on the Russell. All right, so now we could be putting in a potential head and shoulders on the 1-minute QQQ chart. So paying close attention to that. If the Qs break this little neckline, it will be triggering a head and shoulders pattern. Downside target on this would take you. So we're at this inflection point. You have a potential inverted head and shoulders forming, but you're in this wedge pattern. So whichever way the wedge breaks, it either if it breaks up, it triggers a bullish pattern. If it breaks down, it triggers a bearish pattern. So watching both scenarios here. But we could actually have a big move down or up depending on which way it breaks this wedge. Holding the EMA 113 right now. Since Apple's under pre-market low, I'm still feeling more bearish. Google's tapping pre-market high resistance right now. Coinbase, we're back in the money on coin. Come on, baby. Flush it. Coin is still falling here. Qs are testing that low boundary range. Qs are testing the lower boundary range. Semis are also weakening here, guys. Semis are also weakening. Still holding that Micron short, slightly going against us, but that's also a swing trade level. So I'm okay holding that one.